This is Ernest Tomeyer, along with my wife, Kathy, executive chef and energist. Wow, she'll have to explain what that is sometime. But at any rate, we're pleased to announce a fun program for the summer that we're going to be doing every Saturday night, and that's the history of Adirondack food. We're really excited about it, something that we were in partnership with a whole host of organizations several years ago to create. Some of you may know I was involved with sustainable development in the park, and one of the things I try to do is bring people together to look at the future of the park. And after I retired, I thought, we haven't talked about the history of Adirondack food. And the more we got into it, the more we realized how different, unique, and rich it is. So pulling a whole host of organizations together, the Native American population up here, historical organizations, farm organizations, we asked a question: if we were going to talk about the history of Adirondack food, how do we do that? And after a series of meetings and research, we came up with what we call the 5 eras of Adirondack food. And they begin with the most important group, which is the Native Americans, the original people here. And that led into the early European settler period, known more commonly as the pioneer period. And then that led into the cure cottage days. The cure cottages were all about the whole tuberculosis cure. And then that culminated in the Grand Hotel period and the era of the Great Camps. And then, of course, the 5th era is where we are today, which is the era of farm to fork. So we talk about those 5 things in a really fun way. It's a 5-course tasting dinner where we sample something from each of those eras. The lodge itself is the oldest operating Great Camp in the Adirondack Park. Kathy's family started it 136 years ago in 1886 as a stagecoach inn and post office. So we eventually do part of the program in our 1886 stagecoach dining room. But in the 1920s, this was a library by day and a speakeasy by night. And so as we begin the history of food, you actually get a chance to check that out. You have to have the password to get in into the speakeasy. But we start you off with some appetizers on those early eras. And then we move you up here to the stagecoach dining room. It isn't just a tasting dinner. We start off by talking a little about trivia, history of the Adirondacks for those people who may not be too interested, plus those who know a lot about the Adirondacks. Mm-hmm. We test your knowledge of the Adirondacks with some fun trivia. And then when we're up here, Kathy does a cooking demonstration as well too on something. And so everything is based with the whole emphasis on the history of Adirondack food. That's fun. It's in a long table style dinner, which means that each one of your parties gets to sit in your own separate table, and we together go through the different eras of food. So that's Saturday night. Mm-hmm. You start off, I believe, at 6:30. If you're interested, as we think about that history theme, the lodge again being the oldest operating Great Camp in the park, at 6 o'clock we do a history of beer workshop and tasting. You can sample 6 different beers, and we talk about the history of beer. And then at 6:30, we begin the history of Adirondack food. And I know I probably forgot something, or do you want to give one quick example about like what we do, like cornbread?
No, I think they should come and find out for themselves.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
We go through the history of that. So we may have like a Native American dish or a pioneer dish, cure cottage, Grand Hotel. So from the different eras, you get to taste and sample from the different eras. And sometimes we might just, as a special event, we might just have a pioneer dinner. As a special event, we might just have a Grand Hotel dinner. But we have the farms delivering to us and kind of back to farm to fork. So we do a little bit, like you said, a little bit. It's an interactive dinner. You have your own separate table, but it's an interactive dinner that we all get to have fun with. So right from appetizer to dessert, we have some really good different tasting, and it's quite a hearty dinner as well. So I think you should come and find out what we do. If it interests you at all, come and have some fun. These are really fun for us to do. And we'd like to see you here. Come with a group or an individual or a group. Couples, it can be a fun couples night out, and with a group, it can be a really fun group night out as well. So if you have a group, say from 10 to 15, and want to have your own place on a night that we're not open to others, contact us, and we'll do a theme night for you as well.
Yeah, and it's a great way to learn about the Adirondacks and this really special sense of place that we have for both people who have lived here and people who may be coming into the area. It's great. In one night, you learn a lot.
Yeah.
And you taste a lot.
Yeah. So contact us, lakeclearlodge.com, or here, let me put this up on the screen. Our contact, let me put this up, and Ernest, you can say what it is while I put it up.
Well, while you're doing that, and just to note that as we continue the iconic tradition of the Adirondack Great Camps, since there's not many of us left, and the Great Camps were known to provide destination experiences, which is what we're trying to do here. Just to note that on Friday night, we're reliving the stagecoach days. That's how the lodge started as a stagecoach inn, by offering stagecoach rides with Lucky Clover Farms, beautiful draft horses, Jasper and Fly. We have an authentic stagecoach. They go through our nature trails, and we do it at sunset. And for those of you who haven't been to our place, our beach is one of the most magnificent places anywhere in the world for a mountain lake sunset. It's just completely awesome. It falls right on St. Regis Mountain. The loons are out there, but it's beautiful. So that's Friday night, where we do a stagecoach ride, and we include.
And also this year we'll also do a carriage ride for groups, like for families and groups. We'll do a carriage ride, and then later on in the evening we'll do the stagecoach ride, because that's good for couples or like 4 people.
Right. So something for groups and families. Earlier on, just a wagon, a farm wagon from Lucky Clovers, and then for those that really want that stagecoach experience, those are going to be a little bit later on in the evening, starting around 6:30, so we can capture the sunset. And then on Wednesdays, it's the 56th year of the Holmeyer family operating the lodge. So we are doing a Taste of Germany on Wednesday nights. And you can actually look at the menus online, as Kathy's putting this up here now, and you can actually order online. And but it will tell you a little bit about the different experiences we are doing different nights this summer only. So hope to see you out here.
Okay, and thanks for listening. See you soon.